This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and today we are here for Simpit Live. And this comes on the heels of just yesterday. I did a bunch of testing, streaming some Twitch, and I don't know yet if I'm going to use Twitch or YouTube or what my streaming method will be, but it's something that is in the works. So this is, again, another one of those shakedowns. These systems are kind of funny. They don't really let you do a shakedown that well without testing it with a good crowd. So if you show up today, you're part of my guinea pig crew, and I got to tell you, thank you very much, because I appreciate that a ton. I am going to do a little testing for the Mazda, the global Mazda MX-5 Cup on iRacing. This is the series I've been running. It's the series that is the catalyst or the reason behind all the what am I doing wrong series. So this is actually my practice getting ready. I've turned some laps. We're running at Limerock Park with the chicane, which makes this not one of my favorite tracks, which I say all the time, which is funny. No, it's a little bit boring. It adds a chicane in a very nasty spot, and it has been troublesome for me and many people out there. So I'm going to have to not only improve my lap times, but really get that chicane with confidence. So we are just testing everything here, find out how everything goes. And if you have any input, I appreciate any feedback I get on the event. If I do take a break, I will probably switch views to something a little more entertaining. And certain events I can't control, like my dog is going to bark and make some noise. He might even get in the frame a little bit. No controlling that. Who knows what's going to go on here on a live show, live stream. But I am here really to do some testing, both on track and of the stream quality. And one of my concerns is how much will the stream quality affect my ability to drive at the level that I want to drive at. So that's something that I'm going to be taking into a factor as well if I ever want to do something extremely important. So let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and say hello everybody who's here. So we do have some people watching already, so much to my surprise, because I really haven't promoted this. Hi, William of Sim Racing Paddock, I see you there. And Washi, what you using for this? I'm using OBS software. Chicane ARG, I agree. Montgomery, hello Sweden. And chat box, that's something I'll work on, but I do think there's a chat box off to the side that I'm reading, so I don't know, but I'll look into that, William. Thank you. Hello, 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 Michael, Twingo, Antoine, Arjan, and Hesvild. Hello, Norway. I'm going to get to driving, because I do want to test the whole thing. This is not my normal, and I just want to make sure that like the audio mix is right, that the views are entertaining. Make sure my dog isn't too much of a nightmare. So, for those of you who don't know Limerock, it's a pretty simple track in terms of its layout. That doesn't mean it's simple to drive. There are a handful of really tricky corners that you have to deal with, and there are a few different approaches to different sections that can yield different results as far as lap times and tire temperature and all that kind of stuff. We're coming close to, all of this has been normal. The only difference between normal Limerock and this version of the chicane is right here. And you gotta come, and then you gotta make this right into this nasty section, avoid this, and get through without getting too loose like you saw right there. And then you're right back to normal Limerock at a slightly different pace than you normally would be for that corner. And by here, you're completely normal again with the same approach into the final corner. Like I said, this season, running the Mazda MX-5, I have been really focusing on what am I doing wrong, looking for improvements. And I always do them after the race, and I do them so that I can learn from myself, and maybe if you make common mistakes, you can also improve from them. That's a mistake right there. We're going to avoid that. Probably a little result of me talking. My point here is today what I'm going to do is try to practice what I preach. And I'm going to try to look at some of those things. Maybe we're going to take a moment to look at some of the replay, look at my driving line. If we get a faster driver in the room, which might not happen because they just launched a race, so everyone cleared out of here, I think. But look at a faster driver's line and see what they're doing differently or better. Here's that chicane again. I like to go down into third. Not bad, not bad. I wasn't very aggressive there, but that's okay. I want you to pay attention too. I have it up there. Hopefully you can see it well enough, but you know, my relationship between my throttle and my steering wheel. A lot of people say that the throttle pedal, when you press it, you turn the wheel. I'm sorry, it goes the other way around. But as you're releasing the wheel, you should be adding gas, and they should be tied together in their movements. And if you have any advice on my driving line, my driving method, I'm all ears, always. I'm using auto clutch, trying to blip a little bit. When I forget, I'll hop the rear end because I won't have my engine speeds matched, and sometimes you'll see that result. I might not, but you will. You can see I've run a little bit quicker than this already. Again, probably a result of me talking while driving, which is my fastest way around the track. Yeah, not a great... After you get in and out of the gas like that, that's not the fastest way. You want to get on once at the right time. Braking almost to the 1 marker. Almost to the 1. I like to hug it a little tighter than I've been doing in these laps, so I'm probably under braking just a touch. Oh, a lot of curbing there. That's not good. And I'll usually rev third out until I hit the rev limiter and know that's when I got to touch the brake. Little slingshot, little release of the gas pedal to let the car turn. Oh, missed my shift there, sorry. Just this little brake. I'm just dragging the brake. The hill's going to slow me down as well. And then it's when do I get back onto the gas is the critical part. It's two things. Getting back on the gas here is going to really let you catch the car when it's sliding. You can use that gas pedal to catch the car. And obviously it's going to propel us out of the corner. Little stuttering of the gas there on the most important corner of the track, going onto the back stretch. The front stretch, I should say. Live, sorry. I'd have edited that out in a real show. Alright, just a little more brake than I've done. I'm giving a little more input on the wheel, which means I carried a little more speed than I thought. Rev limiter just right to it. Hug it inside. And now I like to sling it. We're sliding the car right there. Just getting off the gas, letting the car release, and then getting back on the gas to catch it. Scrubbing the brake. Into that chicane. Onto the gas. Too much, see? Too much gas, and you're going to get that. Game over. Alright. So, I didn't do my best laps at all there. I believe you should be able to see my screens as I do this. I'm going to go to the garage. This is a fixed setup race, obviously, but I'm going to try to mute my mic if I have to cough or something. It is a fixed setup series, but we can look at the tires and get an indication of what's going on. And as a driver, knowing in this series that protecting our tires is a big deal, think about it, or at least be aware. So right now, when I look, I can see that my left front tire is much, much hotter and more worn than any of my other tires. So that's that big turn 1. It's, well, it's predominantly a right-handed track, so that's why we're going to wear the left side that much more. The other is I want to look at the relationship between front and rear a little bit, and I can see that my front, I seem about pretty good balance, so I think I'm doing a pretty decent job and not over braking the car, not putting too much stress on the front end or rear end. It's a little hard to tell with that front tire being so out of whack. So, as you can see, it is hot. It is summer here in Southern California. I live at the beach, which is a beautiful thing, except for there's just that 2 or 3 weeks of the year where it is a little warm for here. And it normally can barely get above 80, and we almost never get any kind of humidity of any kind of, the kind that'll upset you. It's just beautiful here. But today is one of those hotter days, and I expect it for another week or two still. So anyway, I'm going to check in with the chat just a little bit. Obviously, I can't hear it. And the other thing I can do is see if anybody is out here. Nope, I'm the only one. I might have to switch rooms. If this room's really boring, I can switch rooms, and right now there's only 2 of us in here, and Pablo, no, I'm the only one in here, I'm sorry, you can see I'm the only one with a white white indicates actually in the room. So if you're not into iRacing, this might be a little heads up on how some of the iRacing idiosyncrasies work out. Hello, Brazil. Hello, Netherlands. Frame rate is pretty poor for you viewers. Looks like 30 FPS. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Gosh, I am getting great frames on my game, and it's not affecting me, so that's got to be the stream quality. One thing I'm going to mention a few times in the description, I did do a shakedown test yesterday on Twitch. I was running some of the world's fastest gamer on RFactor 2 yesterday, and as pathetic as my efforts there have been, I need to remember my camera's actually up here. It's sort of a strange spot for me. Anyway, in that testing, I did okay, and I'm not proud of my lap times, but it's a real cutthroat competition, so you got to expect those kind of results. But for comparison's sake, that's one of the things I'm doing here is actually comparing YouTube and the difficulties, or the things that make it easier to use, or you know what makes it better in whatever ways versus using Twitch. And obviously I have a bigger community at YouTube already, so I'd have to migrate people to Twitch, which can be done, but you know, anyway, that's part of today's comparison. So I will look into the frame rates, and I appreciate that feedback. Stream capped at 723. Okay, I'll have to look into the settings. Thank you, William. William, I might talk to you. You've been doing this a little bit longer than I've been doing. So I might, yeah, thank you. I just see you offered that. I'll give you a call probably. Testing for the world's... Yeah, I was running the RFactor. Exactly. It went well. It went well streaming-wise. The stream went great, I think. And you can see the replay there. I have the link in the description of the show. My efforts. I encourage you all to go out there and give it a try. Because if you want to see where you know, are on the scale of drivers, you're not going to find a harder leaderboard, and it's quite humbling, amazingly humbling. And to be perfectly honest, the more RFactor experience you have, the better you're going to do right away. And I've been spending a lot of time, too much time in iRacing, to be honest with you, and I'm not doing enough RFactor driving. And if you need proof of that, it's that I wasn't able to go anywhere near as fast as I think I should be able to do. And proportionally not nearly as fast as I am, and even say the Miata here on iRacing. So, and somebody says good looking stream. So okay, so we'll have to see if different people are getting different use. I'm in the Mazda MX-5 on iRacing. All right, let's go ahead and do another lap, and if we don't get a crowd, I'm gonna go look for a crowd because I want to have some fun too. But for now, we're really concentrating more on driving line. Again, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not the fastest guy in the Miatas? That's a pretty bold statement. I don't know. I shouldn't be the fastest guy in the Miatas. I'm not normally in fourth there. It's my out lap, though. I call this the slingshot, as we know. I don't know. That's a stupid name. I'll have to come up with a better name. Now, right there, if you make a mistake, you need to drop this thing down to like a quarter throttle and catch the car and then get back to work. Ease off the gas, let it turn back on the gas. Let's try to be smooth. Correlation between our gas application and release versus our steering input. Hard on the brakes. Take that inside line a little too tight. A little too tight, and that made me leave the gas on, thinking I'd slowed down too much. Got to put a lot of body English into it. Oh, not enough brake there. Pushed wide. That screwed me up for that one, so it's about recovery now. Just a scrub of the brake, let the gravity in the hill do the work, find the line. That's all you're doing there, is trying to find the line. Once you get it, you can start working on being faster. And it's a tough line to find. But you got to remember what you did and try something different. You can't do the same thing every time and expect a different result.
Hey, Sean. watching your stream.
Hey there, Michael. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Got to be patient on that corner, too. I keep hitting that curbing, which there are worse things in the world, but not enough brake once again. I let the car push. Let's not cheat. Let's stay wide, set up the corner. Let's not early apex. So we'll just take a really late apex instead. That wasn't really the plan. Came out way slower. Now, if we're just hot lapping and looking at our optimal times, it's really not fair, because if you push it hard, couple of laps in even, you're going to start seeing that fall off. It's not huge, but you're not going to beat your best lap time. Whoa, early on the downshift, not enough blips, steamrolled the curbing, and couldn't control the car. Alright.
They say you cut the course.
That's why we practice.
Give up the time gained.
Alright, now we got Michael coming up behind us. At least that's more fun. Oh, he got a little loose off of that final corner, looks like. Well, we did the early apex. You could hear me drag that throttle. Not a bad line right there, though. Will set us up much better for that corner. A little early there again. I'm still coming in early on my apexes, so what am I doing wrong? Early apex seems to be a consistent problem in my driving life. Much better on the downshift, much better on the entry. Look at that. You can do that little slingshot maneuver there. All right, that's one of the goals of the day. I didn't need that upshift. Certain corners where you can just turn, release the gas, let the car slide, get on the gas and catch it. What do we call that? Ah, way too far inside. Inside is not always a bad thing in the Mazda. This car corners on rails. That's the line. That's the line right there. Oh, if I didn't hit that curb like an idiot. Better than everything but the one before. Now, as much as I know I can't run a personal best with even this much tire wear, I still need to get ready for the race, not just qualifying. Which means I might as well do some practice. And when I talk about being aware of what's going on, recognizing the moment is a big part of racing in so many different ways. And one of them is early downshift. Recognizing the moment. Sure, for 2 or 3 laps I can go out and act like I'm in qualifying. I might overheat it just a little bit compared to my race pace on those laps, but it will allow me to test for qualifying trim, so to speak, or qualifying effort. Once they've worn in, I can switch into that longevity mode and driving more for consistency and keeping the car so it's not working any harder than it needs to and getting you the lap times you need so your tires are going to be there at the end of the race. Ah, over-revved it. Also want to know how far I can push it before it considers that a cut. Whoa, shoot. What was I thinking? No excuse for that. Alright, a little sweat on the brow. Let's catch up with you guys. Oop, let's get out of everyone's way. Okay, let's go backward in time a little bit. Yeah, world's fastest gamer. That's exactly where we were. And sorry. Yeah, I'm not Nordic enough. That ARC or Art Crenshaw, that is a topic in its own. Those Nords when it comes to racing. You can't win if you're not Nord. Cars, in the world's fastest gamer, it's the McLaren 650S on RFactor 2. Today we're in the Mazda Miata MX-5 Cup car on iRacing. And we're trying 2 different sims and 2 different streaming methods just to get a sensation of which is better. David Baker, it's the Ricochet. I think I like that more, but I'm still open. I'm not going to do a race today, but if all goes well here, I'll probably stream my next race, and hopefully to go along with the What Am I Doing Wrong series. I've been airing a lot of the races in the Mazda. And I am using a Leo Bodner. Your question is, what do I prefer? I prefer direct drive, but it's not as simple as that. That's not me just saying direct drive is the best thing in the world. There are flaws to direct drive. So, and there are fewer flaws to direct drive than there are belt or gear or any other kind of drive. But it's not. This is not what we're going to be using in 10 years. Let's just put it that way. And 5 seconds off the pace. Yeah, see, that's about the thing. I mean, I ran a 201.6 or a 213, which is like 500th on the board. 500. That's, I don't even want to say or see such numbers when it comes to my race. I've been racing a long time. I don't claim to be an alien. I don't claim to be the best. But 500 is tough to swallow for anybody. Fabio. Hello, Fabio. Fabio, my motivational, inspirational head coach, body coach, so many things, Fabio. You've been so great to me in racing and sim racing, reminding me to breathe, and I'd probably sweat less. The sweat it's at least 85 and just stagnant in here, despite my fan being on. And GT Speedster, thank you very much. And Sween says this is that's Scott Wennerstrom. If you guys haven't met Scott, he's been mentioned on the show a few times. He's been doing some things behind the scenes. We're going to be working together on some other things in the future. So Sween, hello. And this is better than Twitch. That's great. And thank you, Sam Moran. And Anyway, let's do some more driving. We fell to second on the board. Maybe with some breathing, Fabio, we can do something about that.
Wow, I'm faster than an all-time hero in sim racing, Sean Cole. Wow, that kind of made my day.
I was just talking about that, Michael, but I'm coming for you right now. I'm going to do some breathing and better concentration and see if I can't beat this time of 7:93.
Hey Sean, love those videos you've been putting up.
Hey Eric, how you doing? We're doing a video right now. We're on a live stream on YouTube right now as we speak, as a matter of fact.
Go get him, Sean.
Say again, Doug? I can't hear when I'm driving.
I have faith in you that you can get that lap time.
Ah, thank you much. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try hard. Outlap in the Miata, you do not want to overdo your tires. They heat up that quickly. I turned up the squealing sound of my tires. I don't know if you guys saw that video. Alright, let's see what we can do. Let's get to work. This is my determined face. That's a cut. Oh, I just thought of something.
What? Popping out for a beer or something? Keep it up there, Sean.
I was adjusting my mirror. I have my wheel set at 540. That is different. That is because...
Oh, Sean, thank you for sponsoring the races over on SRS in Assetto Corsa.
Oh, right on, Doug. I'm going to stream that race tomorrow, I think. So, little plug. Tomorrow we're running on sim racing systems in the Simpit Mazda MX-5. I don't recall
And
what
we
track we're
have
at.
met before.
Where did we meet, Doug?
The open house, and I won the Human Racing GT chassis.
Oh, I remember that distinctly. Obviously, because it's one of my, all-time favorite chassis, of course. But, oh, congratulations and hello once again.
I'm still using it.
Yeah, that is, I mean, truly a work of art when it comes to sim racing chassis. I mean, you pay for it. They're brutally expensive.
Yeah, my Fanatec pedals don't quite fit properly, but it all works out. I'm like on the 6th or 7th seat on this rig now.
Right on, right on. Let's catch up with everybody here. Yeah, it was a good try. Breathe. Yeah, see, I'm still not breathing, and Fabio is going to be very upset with me about that. Anything like this in P cars? Not yet. There is not. We're working on that. We'll see. My Twitch channel. There is a link below to yesterday's feed, and you should be able to find it there. Right now, we kind of have two different channels. _Simpit and Sean_Simpit are the two channels. Somebody already stole my real name. I know who. He's the guy who does flight sim stuff out of New Zealand, I believe. Really amazing surround sound monitors. I've talked to him a lot of times. He's actually a cool guy. Whoops. I'm calming down and cooling down, by the way. That's why I don't mind taking a little moment here. Thanks for my questions about the position. I'm very interested in the operation. Huh? AZ Gamer. I love the big leans into the corners. Thank you, Robert. Yes, I cannot help but body English. That's something that whenever you get in a real car and you're strapped in, it is kind of sucks that you can't lean in. What am I drinking? I don't mind promoting. I like Dr. Pepper. They're not paying me. Seat 7, yes, yes. Beast. Triple monitors versus HTC Vive, Michael Reddick. That's a great topic. And Elvisa said try not lifting on the last fast corner. Okay, I'll give that a shot for sure. I'm all ears on today's driving. Well, always. I'm open-minded on this kind of stuff, and I don't mind taking pointers from others. The question... Oh! The Vive, the HTC Vive, or Oculus, or any of the VR experiences. VR is incredible, incredible. I have very, very little negative to say about VR. If you get motion sickness when you're driving a car, either if you get it badly, you're not going to like it. So you could just rule it out and think, oh, if you get motion sick really easily, you're not going to like any of the VR as of today. And that's a latency issue. The lag when it comes to turning your head, how quick the images stay with it. That's the biggest part. It's an inner ear problem. If you never get car sick, then you can jump in and turn laps right away and have no issues. That's the way I am. I just don't get car sick or any kind of motion sickness at all. So for me, it's very easy to go into it. The only negative I really have on it is the long-range distance clarity is not fine enough for me. So when it comes to looking for something like a braking mark, something just critical, I need better, faster resolution than what any of the VR things can provide as of today for me when it comes to racing at this level. If I'm doing the world's fastest gamer, if I'm doing iRacing where points are critical. Now, if I'm driving for fun, we talked about Project Cars, well, that's a very competitive game on the ESL now, but if I'm just playing to experience a car, there's no way better to do it than with any of the VR experiences, and I think they're all pretty equal in terms of performance as of today. So, anyway, that's my whole thing on that, and let's see here. I'm going to try to get back to driving here. I don't want to waste too much time talking away, but I don't mind talking and letting you guys know what I think about certain things, and that's sort of one of the opportunities here that I'm kind of testing also. So just to make sure that you... Okay. Thank you, Fabio. I see that. Who flipped the controller upside down? It'll make the car turn better for Forza. Yeah, but the body English on a Forza controller. I am guilty of that as well. William did a Rift thing. Cool, cool. And alright, we're about to get back to driving. I gotta knock some time down here. I would like to see a really low 1 minute, to be honest with you. Okay, thank you, Michael. I see that. Linear versus non-linear steering input, what are the differences? That's a tough question to answer straight up if I understand you 100% correctly. Linear versus non-linear could come down to the amount of steering degrees and whether you have to have a correction between what the car's input is and what your wheel is actually turning. So I just noticed that I only have my wheel at 540 from the way I was running the McLaren in RFactor. So the linear mode, I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not trying to be an authority on something I don't know for fact, but the linearity would be a perfectly one-to-one turning versus non-linear creating some kind of a curve, which right now I've created a fake curve by my wheel turning 540 but my game thinking it's going 900. So that's something I actually want to correct. It's not too big a deal, and we only have 15 minutes left in practice, so I'll save that for another time. It's not going to be the end of the world. I could recalibrate, but it was just that I hit the lock that I noticed it. I wouldn't have even noticed it before. And Michael says 1VR that's 4K resolution. I'd like to try that. Let's do some laps. I agree. Let's do some laps. My fastest time at Silverstone was a 2:01. I can't remember if it was a .336 or a .663. It was not a good time, and I'm not proud of it, but I don't mind talking about it. Day and night transition is going to be yes, absolutely, Pierre. That's going to be huge. Huge! Fantasy PS, what do you recommend?
Thank you.
If I answer that question straight up, I can shut down the show. No, I'm kidding. Right now, I lean towards the Fanatic. That's my personal preference. You can't go wrong with either wheel, and they're not really apples to apples anymore, because a Fanatic setup is going to cost you significantly more than a TSPC Racer. So, if you're on a budget of any kind, the TSPC Racer is an incredible wheel. David Greco's like 15th on the world's fastest gamer. He's running that wheel, I guarantee you. I know him personally. I know he runs that wheel. So, I'm using a Bodner wheel, which I'd take over both of those, but does it do me any good? I'm 500th on the board. It ain't the wheel. The wheel's just for you, your enjoyment, your comfort. At the level, all the wheels we're talking about. You're talking a TSPC Racer, you're talking about a Club Sport, a Leo Bodner, a OSW, a Sim Experience. All of the wheels now are to the level that they're not the reason you're winning or losing races.
You've got a slow car on the left. Can't stop.
It's your preference. Do you like a Colnago or a Bianchi when it comes to bicycles? Do you like Chevy or Ford? Yeah, there are higher and lower models, and you get more for what you pay for. But is it needed? Not always. Oh, thank you, Andy. Thank you. Oh, I don't know about not lifting. I tried. I turned in pretty hard, but I don't know about not lifting at all. Gave a little blip. It worked. Oh, not enough brakes. Ah, so impatient. Ricochet!
Come on, give it a go.
Oh, chicken shit. Too wide. Oh, you don't want to see that. That crossed up steering mid-corner. Too much ricochet. Oh, too wide, I think. Alright, no cut there. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure I went through the cones. Or whatever the red spaghetti things are. I didn't set that up very well. Whoa! Seems like you can get a little gas mid-corner there, and then back out to let it turn for the final portion of the corner. That camber right there really helps you in that corner. The camber of the track. Michael improved his lap time, so we improved, but not good enough. A little too much wheel twitch in there, too. Searching for handling and grip. Too early. That, you know, the full throttle there, if I didn't turn in so early, I'd have a fighting chance. Ah, greedy. Messed that whole lap up. Shifting at the wrong time. Totally got out of my head there. No cut. I'm gonna look at the replay there actually to see. Well, I guess it doesn't matter what it looks like. Early. I'm not ruling the throttle thing out just yet. I gotta get my driving line right there. Focusing on the chicane and acting like everything else is business as usual, but I'm not exactly driving it all business as usual. Ah.
Thank you.
That corner is hard to get it to get right where I want it to go. Oh, too much, too much.
Whoops.
Tires get loose, and the ricochet starts getting problematic.
I have no freaking idea how to attack that chicane.
I think that's something that we'll be able to do in qualifying, but not during the race. Alright, let's get a good lap in. Early, sorry. 50 push-ups. I should have to do 50 push-ups every time I screw up the last corner. And at the end of the week, I'd be all buff and really good at that last corner.
I see.
That's more of a controlled version there. That's what I have to do during the race, so I'm not heating the tires and drifting.
You've got a toy car on the left.
Screwed that up, but not a bad recovery. Not a very good lap. Hit another curb. Boy, we have some work to do. Early, 50 push-ups. That's 100. Alright, it might have to be like 10 push-ups if we're going to do a lot of laps. Now, like I said, I don't expect a qualifying lap time right now. But I do expect a race pace lap at this point. And I need to be able to keep these up for 10, 15, 20 laps depending on the race. Over rev. I don't mind being this critical on myself, by the way. Not a great shift. This car lets you get away with it. I'm only doing the shifting the way I am versus leaving it wide open like I used to in preparation for going to no shifting aids at all. Look at that. That was better on the driving line, but I slid it through the corner and got off the gas, so who knows. I'm talking too much. That's not helping the super focus. And the headphones are hot. compared to not using headphones.
Wow, you're getting closer, Sean.
You keep moving the bar. Anybody want to see my impression of Michael Jordan driving a sim? Give it to you in a second here. Did he always have his tongue out when he played basketball? Ah, second off my pace. Ooh, my optimal dropped to sub 1 minute, 59.9. I definitely drive a little better when I'm concentrating on driving.
Go right. One car ahead.
Ah, garbage. Alright, maybe we'll go in for one more set of tires and go see if we can better our lap time. Sorry for that, you guys. I didn't mean to subject you guys to my sweatiness. Alright, I did want to test one other thing in the grand scheme of things here today. And that is, what if Sean has to take a break during a live stream and I don't want to stop the stream? And with that, I decided I could, in this sim at least, go to most exciting. And I could then go to full screen. Not sure if any audio is happening on that. Looks like I didn't have any audio going. So I'm just going to leave it here and walk away. That at least leaves you guys with the audio. Here, I'll give you some results too. That'll be fun. Give credit to the guys who are in the sim with me today. Thank them for their unknowing participation. I'm not even sure if that's legal. Don't answer that question. I don't want to know the answer.
Hi, Sean.
Hello, Brandon. Oh, I dropped a third. Andrus Slizens ran a 1:00.284 compared to my 1:00.294, with Michael Tuck having dropped in the 59s. Good job, Michael, down into the sub 1 minute, you very fast guy, you. Okay. Alright, take a quick break. How much time? Oh, this room is over. Alright, that means we've been streaming for like 50 minutes, maybe? Yeah. Alright, let's look at some feedback that we've got here. A lot of people talking about VR. Awesome. That's very cool. I agree. Well, not with everything, but I agree that it's a great conversation. A great topic and a great product. Great product that is on its way to becoming everyday everything.
No, thank you, Sean. Everything I ever learned is kind of from you, so thanks.
Oh, right on, Michael. I really, really appreciate that. Means a lot.
Yeah, I just discovered your YouTube channel the other day. I love you guys.
Right on, Brandon. Thank you. Thank you very much, too. Breathe, breathe, Michael, I agree. If you're watching still. Excuse me. Okay. By the way, anybody who's here, I really try
That
to
damn chicane.
take questions very seriously. So if for any reason you do throw me a question on the live chat and I didn't get it, it's just because I'm trying to keep up with a lot of things here. Always feel free to email me at Sean, S-H-A-U-N is my name, Sean at thesimpit.com. And I love helping people out with sim racing in general. And if there's anything I can help you out with, just let me know. You know, send me a question. If you have any feedback on anything I'm ever doing on the Sim Pit, I'm all ears.
Well, Sean, I'll be waiting for your video on how to shave about another second off my lap.
Right on, Eric. I'm here right now trying to figure exactly what I can do on that. Okay, Jeremy Robles, what's your, Scott, okay, better do 50 extra laps instead of 50 push-ups, the big one. Yeah, you're probably right, that'll probably go longer, but then I wouldn't be off. In the final corner, upshift as you turn, so you get the benefit of loading the front to keep it going wide, plus you'll be, you know, Jeremy, I used that trick in other spots, like at the corkscrew at Laguna. I downshift into second on the uphill and put it back into third before I even get back to it on the downhill. That's a good idea. I'm going to try that here today. Track hire lets you turn your head up and down. Yes, Viking, it does. My problem with track IR is that I always felt like I was leading it, but that was before my eyes were involved in the equation at all. Like I had to turn my head and my eyes would follow kind of thing versus my eyes leading the way. A combination of the two or better tracking might work well though for that. And yes, I agree, Jeremy. I agree on the don't have to come off the throttle on the backstretch either if I do that. And I don't know about the 1440. I've only, to be perfectly fair, I've tried the Vive and I've tried Oculus. I've driven on Oculus extensively. I mean, probably 100 hours on Oculus. But I always just do it for that. I've also done a lot of flight sim on Oculus, so it hasn't always been driving. It's incredible for flight sim. When the speed picks up to sim racing, it'll be incredible for sim racing. For flight sims, it's there right now. If you do flight sims, go buy Oculus or any of the VRs today and get in there. Curve 1440 for 450, I was thinking about 3 screens. Yeah, Viking, those are incredible. I mean, hard to say. I've not personally sat at 3 curved 32s to see if the curves work right together. I often personally was like, oh, well, what if you took and put a flat screen in the middle and 2 curved? But I'm not getting in on that. You go, let me know. Let me know what you think. Race room. Michael, it's been a long time since I've done race room. It has and always has been a lot of potential, and I think they're really kicking it up. So I promised myself I was going to get in there, and part of testing the live stream and getting this up and going is the idea that I might be able to just kind of do more playing around with different sims, especially once they've already been out, or maybe a review is sort of irrelevant at this point. I mean, no one's deciding whether to buy the game or not, probably, or not as many people as when it came out. So, but it's a way that I can start doing more things like race room. And like tomorrow night, I'm going to live broadcast my sim racing systems race on Assetto Corsa. We'll do a live broadcast of at least one of the Mazda races this week, and we'll do a live broadcast of, excuse me, those are hiccups, by the way, / burps. And we'll do a live broadcast also of another session of the World Fastest Gamer. And the reason I don't mind doing these live broadcasts is, you know, I drive for fun. So if there can be any benefit whatsoever to the community out there, then I don't mind broadcasting some of my driving efforts. It takes a little more work from me, but that's not too big a deal. Detmer, my clutch is miscalibrated, is in a nutshell of what he said. I'm going to have to look into that right now, or in my next session. That's possible. Viking. Okay, I'm going to say this one out loud. A lot of respect to me for working with Jessica for all those years and keeping my composure on camera. You know, I have to be really honest. It was a lot easier than you'd ever imagine. Jessica came in, and you wouldn't believe how quick it was. Like, she was just like a sister to me and Darren, and just part of the team. It's just amazing. It's fun. You know, we'd flirt, and we'd all have fun, but you know, it was weird. It quickly went away. She's incredibly beautiful. She's incredibly fun. She's like the girl that everybody would dream of having their girlfriend, obviously. But no, it didn't take much to work with her. It was a lot of fun, and sometimes there was even fun for me and just being embarrassed in the moment. Someone else said something about SimVibe. SimVibe's awesome. If you haven't tried that, use a bud kicker in SimVibe. It works great. Julian, Chris, about the Proto SimTech P2. No, but I've actually been meaning to contact him anyway. So I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to put that back to the top of my list as far as to-do list. So hopefully, Chris is a great guy. I loved those pedals when I tried those out. My thing just jumped. Whoops. No, I'm not registered for the next race, by the way. I will probably do a race tonight. No, I'm not ready for this race. No, what am I saying? Okay, screens. Oculus is great. I agree with you, Armandio. Excellent. Themexer99 just got his Rift and will be there tomorrow night, so that's cool. We're going to stream that race tomorrow night. CSL is a great wheel for the money. One of the best, actually, for the money that you can do, I think. Curved, and everyone said it was just so much immersive. Pierre, it very well could be. I've seen gigantic curved ones, and it was very cool. They're like huge. It was at CXC Simulations for that the Formula 1 car that went on the boat. Max Payne, Toon Junkie, hopefully we'll race together soon. I'll see you on the track. I really mean it. Lately we're running on sim racing systems on Thursday and Friday nights, 6 o'clock West Coast USA time. I am often running on the Miata. I usually run a lot on the weekend and race during the weekend, and sometimes on Monday mornings. And doing the World's Fastest Gamer, which I've been playing a lot with that lately during the daytime. And with that one, you can be in the same server, but you can't watch each other. But you can chat and see each other's lap times. So there are opportunities, and we'll keep increasing those opportunities. And love racing with people who watch the show. So, what do you think about the stream with the community? I think, are we talking about that one? Thanks to the driving line cheat, I was close to Sean's pace a couple of laps. Awesome. We'll be watching. Whoop. Alright, we're going to try to get through this real quick and probably bring this one to a wrap. Bigger steering wheel. I like a big steering wheel. It gives you just a little bit more leverage. It's not as quick turning, but it's a little bit more stable. So when you're getting on that ragged edge and just doing little fine tweaks like this, that's when it comes into play the most. And if you do, in my case, doing what I do for a living, testing games, sims, and all that kind of stuff, I'm constantly changing, whether it's a Formula 1 car, a rally car, various different kinds of cars. So for me, finding a scenario of something that works for everything universally. If I exclusively ran Formula 1 cars, I would want a butterfly wheel. That's for sure. If I, and this shape even being super round and super large is even very GT style, so for some people it might be a little extreme, but because I drive so many different things, this works out great for me. Sounds like I'm on a space station. This microphone is just mediocre. I can look into getting a different mic once we confirm this is something we'll be doing more and more of. Doubting between the RS1 and the price difference, worth it. Okay, G Brick. I have an RC. I have both of them here, obviously. The RS1 is the one I'm in right now. The RS1 is much smaller. If you have any space restrictions at all. The RS1 is the rig you're going to want to get because the N1 is so big that it will take up your whole room if it's a small room. If you're just comparing the two, the N1 is stiffer. So this one I have the heavy duty pedal plate and there's still a little bit of wiggle. It doesn't bother me at all, but I've seen people talk about it, so it is going on. But I do love this rig. It's compact, it's nice. Because it's not as sturdy like the mouse tray, which works great, my mouse will wobble off sometimes. That didn't happen nearly as much with the N1. Aesthetically, the N1 is much better looking. There's an elegance to it. It's not as great looking as that human racing chassis, but it is a fine looking rig. It's a kind of artistic in its design. The RS1 is just a little bit more utilitarian, and it's just sort of built for what you need it to be. Can't go wrong with either one, that I can tell you. Just got an Viking, just got an OSW, and love it over CSW. Yeah, I agree. There, you know, the direct drive wheels are just amazing. It's kind of hard to compare them, and on a price level, right now they're still separated by quite a bit. Distorted, I can't, yeah, so some people are talking about curved screens. Obviously, you guys are seeing the chat. I'm kind of late. Aussies in Norway. Is it true that Sam Compton is the coolest guy you know? Sam Compton is one of the coolest guys I know. I cannot deny a statement like that. So, I question whether you're in Norway. Are you in Norway? I thought you were back in Aussie land. Anyway, yeah, someone's asking the cost on an OSW. I don't know. I haven't actually reviewed one. I've touched one, not reviewed. And set of course on PS4. I haven't done that one on the PS4 yet, I don't think. No, I haven't driven that on the PS4. Project True Racer will give it. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't know what Aussies in Norway is talking about. Oh, I thought here we go. We caught up. Yeah, Michael. There you go. Number one you are. Alright, Maxime, I will look. My friends list, I kind of ignore because I have a lot of requests on there, so but I will look for yours. Usually when I know somebody in any form, I'll at least accept those, so I'll try to remember to look for your name. You might want to send me a message on iRacing to remind me. Username Sean Cole, SHAUNCOLE. 1400 for the OSW. That's a good deal. That's a great deal. Pierre, same thing. Send me a note on iRacing and I'll accept your friend request. Viking, yeah, I mean with the 2.5, there's no comparing that to a 2.0. You're welcome for the RC info. Yes, Mike Key, you can buy my shirt in Europe. I believe there's a link on the Simpit site. I just have to make sure it's still working. Yeah, T300 base is a great base also. It's actually kind of comparable to the CSL in its overall feeling. They're really great force feedback, a little light on the overall strength, obviously in an inexpensive casing, but, you know, grab a can of spray paint if you don't like the casing. Great wheel, though. T300 is a great wheel. Making a button plate for your sim wheel. Okay, Viking. You mean like a sandwich plate that I can put on something custom like this? Or do you mean something that would adapt into like a Thrustmaster or a Fanatic? And Fanatic, that would be really difficult. The Thrustmaster, a lot of the wheels are actually removable, so it could be done. Or then the other option is just something completely unique. It would depend on the wheels, so let me know and I'll give that some thought. Montgomery, we should have a race tonight or WOT. Wide open throttle? I know that means something else. It means wide open throttle to me. Let me know. We'll talk about it. I'm not ready to race this tonight. I need a little more consistency. Still in Norway. Whoops. It scrolls ahead. That's my little delays. So Julian came up with an inexpensive scenario for a DD, which is totally doable. But there are a lot of people in sim racing that just don't want to take the time to build stuff. They want to buy something that works and know that it works. So there's different strokes for different folks. You're totally right. He's recommending getting a very inexpensive version of an OSW, like a motor itself, and building it out yourself from there, using like one of the upgraded rims like from Fanatic with a chip, and getting into that totally awesome approach. And I applaud that direction completely. But for a lot of people that takes some skills and time, and again, warranty. So that's going to work, and it's sort of like the build a rig or buy a rig. They both are great. And what kind of dog do you have? Maxie, come here. Come here. He's half Cocker Spaniel, half Pomeranian, maybe? I'm not sure. He's not very well behaved, apparently. He's sleeping. But he's a cute dog. He's a lot of fun. He just barks a lot. And oh, cool. ASB was in the Camel GT series, which I missed running in. And there's John Hill, who, hey, John's here. John works and helps with the show a lot as well. Welcome. And all right, now the question is, a Cockeranian. Yes, a Cockeranian. All right, now the big question is, I've been going for an hour 6. Do I want to do another session, and do I want to stay streaming for another session? We're going to go ahead and leave this one. Let's go ahead and get out and see what happens to my stream. I think that's going to give us a black screen. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it there. You know what? It's been fun. If there's any feedback, again, this is something new, and live is awesome. There are a lot of people doing live streams, and it can be such an advantage. Using it right and using it well is also as important to me as the ability to just go live. So that's something that I'm going to take into consideration in the coming time. I mean, like I said, right now I'm going to do tomorrow night's race and probably Friday's night's race should everything go well. I think we're going to use YouTube again, and we're going to stream those on sim racing systems in Assetto Corsa in the MX-5. Can't remember what race number 4 is right now. I'm going to stream those 2 races. Over the weekend, I will stream at least one Mazda race that we're doing our practice for here today. And then over the weekend, actually the 10th is the end of the competition. World's Fastest Gamer, I'll talk about that. There's only 2 more days. So I'm going to have to squeeze some of that in tomorrow probably. And maybe I'll switch that up and do World's Fastest Gamer on YouTube versus having done it on Twitch before. But any suggestions for the show, any suggestions for the live stream, any questions that you have, please send them to me directly at sean@thesimpit.com, and I'll do my best to answer them. I do take the time to answer emails. And beyond that, if you aren't already a YouTube subscriber, I can't imagine you're here today if you're not, but subscribe to YouTube, tell a friend, join in, and help grow the channel and the community, which we're working to do. A lot of good things. Just because we're doing the live show, I just want to make one thing clear. This is not the new path. This might be one of the many directions of the Simpit, but it is not the new path of the Simpit. Live shows are great, But when it comes to reviews, it's critical to me that the information be perfectly demonstrated to all of you. And when it comes to like DIY projects, and I have another DIY project that I'm going to work on coming up soon. So we have some more things like that going on. All the stuff you expect to see. The live might just be something that kind of help enhance the What Am I Doing Wrong series and the whole racing efforts that I do just to stay fresh and keep sweaty and in shape. So I hope you've enjoyed this stream. I might go on live again because it's kind of fun. Not sure. I appreciate all of you out there being here today. If you haven't already, in the description, we do have the link to yesterday's Twitch feed for the McLaren World's Fastest Gamer on RFactor 2. If you watch some of that and you have an opinion on which looked or sounded better, not necessarily the sim versus sim, but more the stream versus stream, I'm all ears, because I'm definitely looking to figure out which stream I think works best for my channel. That's why today was sort of another extended test, and we'll keep doing some more tests until we get it to the point where I'm 100% happy. Work on a few things, you know, cameras, lights, all that kind of stuff. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track, maybe even live next time.